much of that night do you remember?
I actually remember most of that night in the Bronx. And the reason why I remember most of that night in the Bronx is because that was the night when Roxanne Shante, I had actually cut my hair that day. And most people were like, oh my God, you cut off all of that hair. And it was because I felt that.
Yeah, because you used to have that long ponytail.
Yes. And a lot of times people thought that, okay, maybe it wasn't real or maybe it wasn't that. And it was the fact that, you know, by birth, my name is Lolita.
We knew it was real because we saw the edges.
Yeah, there you go. You just saw the edges. Exactly. And then my hip hop brothers actually got a chance to see me with it down.
Right.
Because, you know, combing it and then getting ready for my show.
Right.
And with my name being Lolita, you know, the first thing I felt was that they were not taking me serious. Because then I turned into the Roxanne. I want to be your man girl.
Right.
You know, and I felt that, you know, no, I'm not some sex symbol. I don't want to be that. You know, I am a great MC. Because this was before they came up with the idea of saying female MC.
Right.
You know, this was when still everybody was just
MCs.
You know, and I came into the industry just wanting to be a great MC. I didn't want to be the greatest female MC, though I will take that. You know, it's a wonderful title to have.
Right.
But that's not what I came into the industry for. I came in the industry to prove that I was a great MC. That's the reason why I battled only the guys. And, you know, I would go at the girls really harshly. And, you know, I would go at them harshly and then think that we could still be friends. But then I realized that they were too emotional for that.
Well, yeah. I mean, we learned that. We learned that a lot. And for those who don't know, real quick, you know, educate everybody. People don't know that beside Pebbly Pool and Sha Rock and all them who were doing records back then, you were actually you're the one who actually paved the way for the Salt and Peppers in them, because you were out before Salt and Pepper, before the shows. Though y'all both were part of the pop art label from Philadelphia at the time, and they were showstoppers. But you were first.
Yes,
you was actually the first one.
Yes.
How do people perceive you? I mean, your peers now today, knowing that fact, or do they? I mean, let's just be honest about it. We can put it out there. Do people still be honest about the fact that you actually were the first solo female MC?
I don't think so. I don't think they ever will. One thing is I've never looked for validation from anyone. You know, I get up in the morning and I validate myself.
No, that's understandable. Know? But if you earn it.
So yeah, absolutely.
You earned it.
So exactly. So because I know that I have earned it, I don't seek validation in anyone. So I don't look for them to give me accolades. You know, I respect my peers as my peers, my sisters in hip hop as my sisters in hip hop, my brothers in hip hop as my brothers in hip hop. So I don't really look for that where, you know, someone else might say, well, how come they don't mention you, or how come they don't say that, or how come they don't do that? Well, as long as they know that.
Right.
You know, I don't need them to say that. You know, as long as they know that. And I sit back and I've always been very humble as far as what I've done industry-wise.
Right.
You know, I don't sit up here and say, okay, well, you know, I have this many platinum records and I have this many gold records and I've been on this many projects. And the reason why I don't no longer have to make records is because I'm the third most sampled voice, period.
Right.
So as long as new people are making records, like your J. Cole's, your Black Eyed Peas, you know, your Nas's, as long as they are making records, I will always continue to make money, so I don't have to make records anymore. Right. I'm not a person to jump out there and say, oh yeah, and look, I did this, you know, because at the end of the day, that's not how your blessings are given.
No, you absolutely.
You know, that's not. So it doesn't bother me. You know, and do I feel that they do it? Absolutely not. You know, I mean, I don't get the invitations to, you know, the ball, but that doesn't stop me from being Cinderella.
Yeah, but
I still got a prince. I still live in a hell of a castle. Right. You know, so
but hold on, Cinderella do get to go to the ball. Because let's talk about this new film and this new project that's getting ready to come out.
Absolutely.
Am I correct with Forrest Whitaker?
Yes, Forrest Whitaker and Pharrell Williams. They actually, I was approached. I didn't write a script. I didn't say I wanted to do a movie. Again, people feel like Roxanne Shante is one of the luckiest motherfuckers in the world. They feel like she didn't want to make a record. She didn't want to make a record, and then she made a record.
Right. She almost see it. I want Shante to change. I want her to be who she is.
Oh, I wasn't supposed to say that.
No, you can say that. Only Shante can say that.
So sorry. So sorry.
Go on, baby. You know what to do.
You know. Wow. See, that just shows you that Shante is just Shante, exactly. And so. You know, I don't try to cover it up or you know, try to pretend to be anything else. But they actually approached me, and I wasn't looking for a movie, and they were like, listen, you know what? We want to make a movie about your life. And I said, a movie about my life? And they were like, yeah, absolutely. They said, you know, we know what your contribution has been to hip hop. We know what your contribution has been, period. And so because of that, we would like to make a movie. and we are going to show them how it started from, you know, age 10 all the way to becoming Roxanne. Like we're going to show them the Roxanne Shante story, the beginning. They said, and then after that, we'll probably wind up having to show them another part and show them, you know, because if you had to do the whole Roxanne Shante story, it would be as long as Roots. You know what I'm saying? It would take a week. It needs to be a series.
Right.
You know, but we were able to get down to what we agreed to and how it was. And so, yes, you know, and I've been selected. My film has been selected for Sundance.
Yes, congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. And that was another thing that I wasn't looking for. You know, you kind of just fall back and just allow the universe to do what it does.
Right.
And all you do is just continue to be good to people. Right. You know, continue to be yourself. Continue to follow on the path that has been laid before you, even when it looks rough, even when it looks rocky. You know, a lot of times we find that things get difficult for us, then we want to take another path.
Right.
You know, I understand that the Roxanne Shante road is always going to be a difficult one. Sometimes when things get too smooth for me, I get nervous. You know, because I do. I feel like, oh, there must be a hell of a pothole getting ready to come up because this has been too smooth, too long.
Right.
You know, and coming from group homes and coming from foster care, you know, and you know, having the features that were not necessarily the more popular features. Because you got to remember, when I came out as Roxanne Shante, everybody came out with a Roxanne.
Yes.
Like as if me being Roxanne.
It's a franchise.
Yeah, like as if me being Roxanne was not good enough.
Right.
And then every Roxanne they came with was lighter.
Right.
So it was like, okay, first it was me, then they went and got a light-skinned girl and said, okay, she's the real Roxanne. And then they went and got a Spanish girl and said, no, she's the real Roxanne. You know, and so my thing was like, okay, they weren't willing to accept that. So it was like, okay, she's, you know, brown skin at that time, being pecan tan puts you in that middle road where a lot of people don't want to discuss that. They don't want to talk about that fact. But being in that middle road made it twice as hard because I wasn't light skinned like the light skinned girl, and I wasn't the black of the berry, the sweet of the juice girl. I'm the brown skinned girl in the middle who has to be twice as good as both in order to stand out. To cut through. Exactly. You know, I had to be the one whose hair had to be twice as long. And then I had to care, you know, like twice as much in order for things to be. So it was kind of a difficult path, but it was one that I was willing to embrace because I understood that it was my path.
Right.
You know, and it's led me here.
Well, we're looking forward to seeing that too. So we know I got part of the Sundance Film Festival.
Yes.
And we're looking forward to that. I know you got my support
wholehearted.
Thank you.